My experience with the police in Nigeria was very negative. You know, the police in Nigeria would rob us. I remember the police stole my brother's shoes and his watch.
His shoes?
Yeah, they took his shoes and his watch. And giving people a gun is just a license to intimidate.
Wonderful people, viewers and subscribers, and welcome back again on this platform where we tell you undiluted truth. You see this woman they call Kemi Badenoch, where they give Nigeria basbos, the kind of knock where you give Nigeria last, that one big pass my own head. She said Nigeria police, na criminal enterprise.
Do you trust the British police?
I do. But remember my experience with the police in Nigeria was very negative. And coming to the UK, my first experience with the police was very positive. You know, the police in Nigeria would rob us. So when people say, "Oh, I had this bad experience with the police because I'm black and they're white," I was like, "Well, I remember the police stole my brother's shoes and his watch."
His shoes?
Yeah, they took his shoes and his watch. It's a very poor country, so people do all sorts of things, and giving people a gun is just a license to intimidate. But that's not the bar we should use for British police. Obviously, it should be much higher. But my experience was so positive. When I was burgled, for example, the police were there, very helpful. They eventually caught the persons. It's 2004, so 20 years ago. The police did catch criminals, and now we've given them too much to do, in my view. So the police are the first line of defense for everything, and I think that burden makes it a lot harder for them to actually do the basics, and that's another thing that we need to look at.
Let's talk about some of the social issues that have exploded here.
Thank God the name of this woman is Kemi and not Kemi. Because by now, if she is an Igbo woman, by now, the internet, the social media wave will be on fire. They will try to drag the Igbo to it. Even as much as they have already started linking her that her mother is from the southeast. But thank God, this woman is very consistent. Now, take a look at her consistency in dragging Nigeria any way possible. Anything you ask them about Britain, you must drag Nigeria, go inside.
You said this morning in the Telegraph something which I think is going to attract some attention.
I'm sure it will.
Yeah, well, indeed. You talked about, it's about immigration, and what you talk about is not the numbers, but the nature of immigration and immigrants. And you say, I am struck, for example, by the number of recent immigrants in the UK who hate Israel. That sentiment has no place here. Which immigrants are we talking about?
Well, people who come from countries where Israel is seen as an enemy. I remember growing up in Nigeria as a young child that people talked about Israel with a lot of positivity. What I didn't know is that in the northern part of the country, which was heavily Muslim, people spoke in a completely different way. And I also remember 10 years ago when 300 girls were stolen from school and taken away by Islamist terrorists. It resonates with what happened on October 7th. And so I'm always shocked by the number of people who are unable to sympathize with those victims. I chose to become a Conservative MP to serve, and I chose this country because here I could breathe free and I could be everything that I wanted to be. I grew up in Nigeria, and I saw firsthand what happens when politicians are in it for themselves, when they use public money as their private piggy banks, when they promise the earth and pollute not just the air, but the whole political atmosphere with their failure to serve others.
That is to tell you, there is only one thing that is left for this woman to say directly to British people. If you understand what this woman is saying and how she is dishing it out, you will understand that she is telling or using reverse psychology on Britain. Make him tell them, say, this patashi they call Nigeria today, this criminal enterprise you call Nigeria today, now na creation be that too. Now they bring this crime against humanity into existence. And she doesn't want to have anything to do with it. And so as many as Nigerian people believed in her and what she's saying, because that is the gospel truth. Even her enemies acknowledge that what she says is also the truth.
This one they call Reno Omokri said that Kemi Badenoch's statement that she feels little connection to northern Nigeria is most disappointing. Even if it is true, why not keep such a tidbit to herself?
But yeah, their problem is, why would you be saying it? Yes, we'll be saying the truth, whether you like it or not. Reno Omokri mocking himself. I believe anytime you enter UK, I've been in UK, they stay even because we don't even know whether you are a fugitive going about, like a vagabond. When you are part to cross with this one, you go no say your level and our level no be the same. Just continue whining your mouth thinking it is P2B. I thank God this woman is giving it to them back to back. And I thank God that she's a Yoruba woman. Because anytime they want to drag things, they will say it is we Igbos that are trying to break up Nigeria. Which Nigeria are you trying to break up? Nigeria that is already collapsed. Nigeria that is a crime against humanity. Nigeria, what will you associate Nigeria with? Other than oppression, suppression, subjugation, everything bad. The only thing the woman never tell Britain, now to tell them to their face, now I create this nonsense called Nigeria. But let her continue, make the British people no use because of my mouth, drag her into the mess, say, Namitokam, say she won, drag British people leg for the poto, where they call Nigeria. Now then great time. Anyway, what is your take on it? Do you think that this is a reverse psychology? Because if you think and look at her consistency, in anytime she's given an opportunity to speak about issues that no concern Nigeria, he must drag Nigeria entire side. And what she's saying is absolutely the truth. Do you think what she's saying is the truth? If it is, share this video. Let every Nigerian understand this thing and know that Nigeria is just a matter of time. Because it will definitely happen. It will collapse. You cannot say one Nigeria, be preaching one Nigeria, and yet you are doing totally a different thing. Nobody believes in this country called Nigeria. Nobody, including the politicians, they don't believe in it. If you ask me about police, he will drag Nigeria inside. Ask him about school, he will drag Nigeria inside. Ask him about immigration, he will drag Nigeria inside. Because this impunity, this crime against humanity was created by Britain. Well, let's see how this whole thing plays out. We are enjoying the scenarios and the scenes or the episode coming from Kemi. What about Madam Diaspora? We have not heard of her since. Let us also hear what she got to say. Madam Kemi, respect. Nigerians, do you align with her opinion? Let's have it on the comment section. Share it if this reflects your opinion. I'm also Gerald Peters, the advocate for good governance. Bye-bye for now. GGN, uniting the people for good governance.